Freeman and Chase Howell here with the BSN Denver post-game report, where the Colorado Buffaloes have just lost to the Washington Huskies 37-10. Now, I'm not going to blame this game on offense. I'm not going to blame this game on defense. I'm going to blame this game on the little things. Whenever you have a top 10 opponent coming into your house and you are the underdogs, you have to be perfect. You can't make the little mistakes. You can't have 3 pick sixes. It just can't happen.
No, you're exactly right. There's a lot of things that have to go right if you're going to beat a top 10 team in the nation, and none of those things went right for the Buffaloes today. Every small thing went to the Huskies' way. They're just too good for you to do so many little things wrong like they did tonight.
Well, and when you do the little things wrong, you have to make sure that you bounce back. It kind of looked like to me, especially with Steven Montez, once he made the first mistake, once he made the second mistake, it was kind of like a mental focus type thing. It was kind of like he was walking on eggshells. And whenever you're on eggshells and you're playing in a game trying to beat a top 10 opponent, you can't overthink things. After the first 2 pick sixes, you have to kind of bounce back and kind of get refocused.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny that you bring that up, because what Coach Mack really likes about Montez is the way that he just moves on from something like an interception, but you didn't see that tonight at all. He was just trying a little too hard, forcing things. You saw that on the second interception where he throws it deep. I mean, he had Shea Fields out there, but he wasn't open at all. Way overthrows him, picked off. He just made some bad decisions out there. It's not like he played really bad, but he looked like the Steven Montez that we saw in 2016. He just wasn't at his best on a night that it needed to be.
Well, this whole week, Coach Mack was talking about stopping the run game. The defense has got to stop the run game.
I mean, well, we saw it in the Pac-12 championship a year ago. Myles Gaskin, he dominated the Buffaloes again tonight. It was deja vu all over again for the Buffs. They just couldn't stop him. And it's not really just Myles Gaskin. It's mostly that Washington Huskies offensive line. They're all 300-pounders. They just couldn't do anything about that. And with a young defensive line that the Buffaloes have, they just couldn't get any penetration, couldn't do anything on that run game. Myles Gaskin ends up running for 200-something yards. Didn't look that bad in the first half. It was the second half where he really just ran all over him. Coach McIntyre called it pitiful. I think that's a pretty good way to put it. It was pitiful in that second half.
Well, the great thing about playing in your first Pac-12 game of the season is that it is the first Pac-12 game of the season, so they still have a long way to go. They're going to UCLA, and then they come back home and play against Arizona. To end on a more positive note, I was really impressed by Juwann Winfree.
Yes.
Originally committed to Maryland. Now he's here, finally healthy, finally able to play. He had some good plays.
Yeah, that was a really interesting situation, because everyone was all excited to see him get a lot of playing time for the first time since he's arrived here. They target him 2 or 3 times on that first drive. He makes 2 catches on that first drive. He was wide open on both of them. And then they just went away from him for the rest of the game, and they didn't care for him. They didn't give him any targets. I don't think he got a single target in the second half. Juwann Winfree will probably start at slot again, and hopefully they target him a few more times next week.
Well, like I said before, the team is heading to UCLA this weekend to play against the Bruins. For me, I think the team has to focus on mental focus.
Yeah.
Well, not the team. I would say Montez. He's the quarterback of the team.
Yeah.
If he does go into UCLA, if some mistakes do happen, or even when he's back here in Arizona, I don't want to see your head down.
Yeah.
I want to see you as a quarterback with your head up, getting your team refocused, ready to next play.
I mean, I think sometimes we forget that Montez is a redshirt sophomore because of how much he played last year. He's still growing. Hopefully this is a huge learning experience for him. It looked like that's how he was taking it. That's how Coach McIntyre said he wants to take it. Hopefully he learns a lot, and we see a lot of improvement from Montez and the rest of the team next week.
Well, for the full post-game report, make sure you go to bsnbuffs.com. For Ariana Freeman and Chase Howell, good night.